The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Orting Valley Fire and Rescue, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 34920. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting just under the front bumper, you'll find your discharge sweeps on the passenger and driver side. Moving up onto the face of the bumper extension, you'll find dual air horns, passenger and driver side. On the passenger side, you'll find your electronic siren and PA speaker. Just inside of that location, you'll find two chromed closed tow hooks located protruding from the front bumper from the frame rail. As we move all the way to the very top section of the bumper extension, you'll find your swivel discharge. Just inside of that location, the center, you'll find a tubbed storage location, dry deck material, and Velcro tie downs for hose storage. As we move to the cab face, you'll find your headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights and a turn indicator. In the grille, you'll find forward-facing emergency warning lights. Directly above the Freightliner logo is where you'll find the grab handle for tilting the hood. Let's take a look at some close-ups. First, the tubbed storage location, dry deck material, Velcro tie downs. As we move around, you'll see the side sweep, air horn, and tow hook. As we move around to the side of the bumper extension, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. As we move to the very front, two emergency warning lights forward-facing. Let's go ahead and move down to the wheel where you have Alcoa wheels and Michelin tires. There is a visual sight gauge for your front axle. As we move directly over the axle on the fender, you'll find a turn indicator marker light and also the air intake for your engine. Let's take a quick look at the cab area. We'll start with some details here in the next set of images. Let's start down at the very base of the cab step on the driver's side. Just underneath, you'll find perimeter lighting located underneath the step well. As we move up from the step well onto the upper step, you'll find also perimeter lighting shining down from the cab area. You'll also find the silver ultra low sulfur diesel fuel cap location. Right next to it, you'll find the DEF fuel location, which is the blue cap. As we move just to the right, you'll find a drop down which gains access to the battery area. Let's go ahead and go inside the cab area where you'll find attached to the panel of the door is all of our safety and warning information placards. As we move to the base of the seat, you'll find this yellow placard. Just beneath that, you'll find your master battery switch, quarter turn for on and off. When plugged into shore power, your battery voltage indicator will illuminate, indicating the voltage. Let's go back to the manufactured by Pierce for your fire department. This placard has the date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, all of the fluid and capacities for each device and fluid type. Let's take a look now at the seat area. At the base of the seat, you'll find comfort controls. This is an air ride seat, up and down. In the very front orange lever will be front to back. Let's move inside the cab area about the left knee of the operator. This is a keyed ignition. This also has an indicator regarding the battery as a green indicator. As we move all the way to the opposite side of the steering column, you'll find your filter minder. This is for the engine air filter. Let's move up to the dash area. On the left side of the dash, you'll find this placard regarding the height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating. If you make any changes to your vehicle, please update this placard. You also find 4 switches located here. These are going to be your speed control for cruise control, set excel, headlights, and also control for dimming and brightening lights within preview of the operator. As we move to the dash itself, you'll find your transmission, water, and oil temperature gauges on the left. As we move to the right, you'll find front air and rear air combination gauge housing the ultra low sulfur diesel and also your DEF fuel locations. On the left, you'll find your tachometer and speedometer diagnostic engine information displays above the speedometer. Let's move downward just beneath the steering column where you'll find this foot pedal. This allows you to extend or retract the steering column or tilt. As we move to the right, you'll find the filter minder. Once again, this is for your engine air filter. Just to the right, you'll find 12-volt power outlet. This is going to be a USB style charging outlet. Let's move further to the right where we'll get a general view here of the dash, but let's start at the top with your automatic traction control switch and also your Allison transmission pad. It is a push button digital readout. Let's move further to the right, take a general view of the entire dash area. At the very top section, you'll find storage location and also your AM/FM radio. Let's move down and take a look at the PTO switch, on-off switch, also a PTO engaged indicator, also a OK to pump and OK to pump in motion indicator. All three green indicators. To the right, pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. Let's take a look at some switches here. First starting with window control, door lock, mirror heat, engine brake, also your regen information and engine brake high and low, and also differential lock. We do at the very bottom have some future switch locations, high idle, OK to engage the high idle, load manager, siren horn selector, your tank dump, and also rear valve dump. As we move downward, you'll find climate control. Just beneath that, you'll find your Pierce seatbelt information, red indicating someone is in the seat, green indicating someone is in the seat and belted. As we move to the right, you'll find the driver's side front sweep and passenger side front sweep, and then also a digital readout for pump pressure. Let's move down to the center console area. This is in between the two front seats where you'll find your headset FireComm system. This is the system module. As we move to the right, you'll find emergency warning lights and then also all of your scene lights. Moving further down, you'll find a lift and turn latch. This will gain you access into a storage location. We have an image here of it with the door in the open position. Let's go ahead and look overhead of the driver position across toward the officer side. You'll find additional lighting control here, also siren control module and PA speaker, and then your backup camera monitor. As we move all the way to the very far right, you'll find your FireComm module for your wireless headsets. Let's go ahead and go outside now. General view here of the pump panel area. We'll start just underneath the step area with two discharge drains. First, foam pump discharge drains and foam pump intake drain. As we move up from this location, we'll start with some placards here. This is your Watrous placard indicating the type of pump that you have. Also, warning regarding only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment. That's only after they received proper training. Just to the right, you'll find a pressure warning hazard indicating that caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. And then further to the right, a warning regarding foam failure. Don't mix different brands or consistencies of foam. As we move further down on the driver's side auxiliary inlet, you'll find the minimum operation maintenance schedule. And then once again, here's those two placards regarding the Watrous and also the warning regarding only trained personnel. As we move further down, you'll find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. Let's move up from this location where you'll find the Pierce logo American flag eagle. This is your large diameter pump inlet. As we move to the right, you'll find a shoreline indicator. That's indicating you have shoreline power that's on, and also a auto eject shoreline. This is a 20 amp shoreline inlet auto eject. Moving now down, you'll find a lift and turn latch will gain you access behind the pump panel. We'll talk about that in a moment. You do have an air inlet and also your main pump drain. Let's go ahead and go back to that lift and turn latch directly behind the pump panel. We'll identify a few items within this area. The yellow handle coincides with the instructions on the placard on the back of the pan door. This is either for foam operations or foam fill operations. As we move to the right, you'll find the foam draft tank lever and also foam tank fill area. All the way to the left, you'll find your minimum operation maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250 psi. You'll find the associated psi on the left-hand side and the associated RPM on the right-hand side for each of those test pressures. Let's move just to the right where we'll find two discharges located here. Number 1, driver's side discharge, and number 3, driver's side discharge. These are both 2.5 inch discharge. This is going to be your digital control for your electric valve for your large diameter passenger side discharge. And then to the right, you'll find your fire pump primer, which is a push to prime air prime. Special instructions regarding at least 1,000 RPMs for best practices for priming operations. As we move up, you'll find your tank to pump and tank refill recirculating line. Move further up, you'll find your pump boss. This is your pressure throttle governor. We do have an audible speaker located on the right-hand side. The outer edge of that bezel does allow you to dampen the sound or brighten it for your own settings. As we move to the right, you're going to find this is your master stream control device. And then as we move through here, you'll find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. They are also indicated on the red, indicating that they are foam capable. Let's move up onto the panel. You'll find the foam level A. It is the red module here for your foam level indicator. To the right, the blue water level. This is for the water level in your water tank. As we move to the right, you'll find an OK to pump indicator, and then also additional switching here for driver side and passenger side scene lights. General view here of the 3 crosslays located at the very front section. As we move down, you'll find crosslay 1, crosslay 2, and a 2.5-inch crosslay. All of these are foam capable. As we move to the right, you'll find your master pump intake, and then on the right-hand side, you'll find your pump discharge. In between the two of those are your vacuum and pressure test gauge ports. They're currently plugged, and these are for testing purposes. Let's go ahead and move from this location to the body of the vehicle. We'll identify a few things here. First, you have tandem axles, Alcoa wheels, and Michelin tires. There is a wheel chock located just in front of the axle. As we move also, you'll find additional ground lighting or perimeter lighting located throughout the body section. To the rear of the axle, you'll find an additional folding wheel chock. Our compartments are in the open position. Let's start at the very front compartment. This is your battery charger. When plugged into shore power, this will become active. You also have a light box located and mounted on the vertical wall. As we move toward the rear section in the same compartment, you'll find an additional remote controller for your master stream device. Just in front of the axle, you'll find a mid marker light turn indicator. Once again, back to the wheel and tire combination, Alcoa wheels and also Michelin tires. Let's go back up to the very top section. Directly over those two wheels, you'll find a roll-up compartment door, 12-volt access at the very top section. We're now to the rear of the apparatus. We'll identify a few items within this area. Let's first start down at the bottom with at the very top of the combination, emergency light, brake, turn, and reverse light. At the top of that is where you'll find an emergency warning light for your lower. We do have some warning placards located here. First, fall injury. This is not riding on the vehicle while it's in motion. Also, if you're climbing onto the vehicle, make sure you face the vehicle. And also an entanglement hazard. Because of those hoses coming from aloft, there is the possibility of entanglement. Also, on the very far side, we have a pressure hazard warning. Caps may be under pressure. We do have some dump switches here and also lighting switches located on the left-hand side. As we move up, you'll find emergency warning lights and also fold-down steps located in the rear section of the apparatus and grab handles. At the very top section, you'll find your backup camera, which is protected, and then just beneath that, you'll find an LED water tank level indicator. At the very bottom section, we have a pan door that will drop down just underneath the chute, and then also as we move to the left-hand side, we have a direct tank fill, 2.5-inch female coupling, and then your chute located in the very rear of the apparatus. General view of the right side, once again, fold down steps to gain access, LED water tank level indicator, and then also your backup camera at the very top section. Let's move back down, a couple more warning labels. Same as on the other side, we have once again, fall, do not ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. Also remember to face the vehicle while climbing on or off the vehicle, and then also entanglement hazard. Because of those lines coming from aloft, there's the possibility of entanglement with them. Let's move up to the very top section where you'll find your 2 fill locations for top fill. First, the front section, we have your water tank fill. This is the water tank top fill. As we move to the very front section, you'll find the top fill location for your foam tank class A. Also, warning, do not mix different brands and consistencies of foam. There is a placard on the cover. Master stream device coming directly up from the dunnage area. Additional storage down in the lower section in the dunnage. As we move just to the right in the image, it's where you'll find your Husky foam system hydraulic reservoir, also fill cap located on the reservoir. You also have a 2-section ladder extension and also hose storage location. Let's move around now to the passenger side of the vehicle. We'll identify a few items here. Pretty much the same layout as far as compartmentation goes. Roll-up doors, LED lighting, and adjustable shelving. Let's go ahead and take a look in the compartments itself. Let's first start at the very rear compartment. Just underneath the compartment, you'll find LED lighting. This is going to be for your perimeter lighting. As we move into the compartment itself, on the bottom, you'll find a pull-out tray. The release mechanism is going to be on the right-hand side. It will lock into position, just requiring you to release the lock and restore. At the very top section, in the next compartment forward, you'll find 12-volt access.
Once again, tandem axle, Alcoa wheels, and Michelin tires. As we move forward to this location, directly over the axle, you'll find a D handle gains access to the rear side of the tool board. Once that tool board is fully open and locked into position, the release mechanism is located on the hinge side. This compartment also has shoreline power. When plugged into shoreline power, this outlet will be active, and also a light box. On the very top section, you'll find hard suction storage hose. As we move to the front section, side-facing scene lights, LED warning lights, and then also an LED water tank level indicator. We're now to the midsection of the pump area. Let's go ahead and start with some of the items within this area. Once again, at the very bottom section, you'll have lighting for your perimeter lighting. As we move upward, you'll find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. Moving further up onto the pump panel, in the very left section, you'll find your remote control for the master stream device. Also, you're going to find a lift and turn latch will gain access behind the pump panel here on this pan door. And then at the very top, once again, warning, entanglement hazard because of those cross lays. As we move down here, we've got large diameter discharge all the way to the very far left-hand side. It's the green discharge. As we move down to the right, you'll find the American flag Eagle Pierce logo, large diameter pump inlet. Just to the right, you'll find your 2.5-inch discharge on the passenger side. Let's go ahead and move up to the crosslays. Same configuration, number 1 and number 2 crosslay, and the 2.5 and a grab handle. As we move more forward toward the cab area, we'll start with the step area. Just under the steps, you're going to find LED lighting. This is going to be for your perimeter lighting. You also have step lighting as you continue to climb up those steps coming down from the cab area. We do have a flat and convex mirror also on this side, and a downward facing mirror. Let's go ahead and move inside the cab area. First, affixed to the door panel, all of our safety and warning information placards. As we move inside, you'll find a grab handle on the A-pillar. You'll also find an air ride seat located on this side. You can see the air ride switch is located on the left operator hand, and then also front to back. On the dash, you do have an adjustable map light. Overhead, you'll find your fire comm system, also 2 grab handle lanyards for your air horn. As we move down, you'll find your vehicle data recorder port, and then also an audible alarm speaker. The outer edge of that bezel does allow you to dampen. Release mechanism for the hood, and then down at the fender is where you'll find your turn indicator marker light. Once again, Alcoa wheels and Michelin tires. As we move now forward around the front area, you'll find that side-facing emergency warning light. And then up onto the bumper extension, you'll find your swivel discharge. Just a general view here of the passenger side of the vehicle. Congratulations, Orting Valley Fire and Rescue Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 34920. If you have any questions regarding your apparatus, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you, and congratulations.